cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap News Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I fucks with you. What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. Back in this thing, back in this thing. It's like cracking this thing here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge-ito you're not finna get in nobody's college-ito. Make sure you hit that notification bell at the top. Hit all, stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Hit that like, hit that hype, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that share button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you tap in. Leave a comment because we're going back to the chili giveaway. So when we get to 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we pick the best comment between now and 31,000 subscribers. We're going to give you some chili, big dog. So it's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. Once we get 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we let y'all know an exact date and exact time that we will be doing a live to give away that money. You got Cash App, you got Apple Pay, you got Zelle, you got Venmo. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure you get that chili. Make sure you hit that like button, that comment, that good subscribe button. TNN Trap News Network. We taking it back to the basics, man. What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cracking the same here at TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use, good knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college. Hit us with a like, with a comment, with a good subscribe for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We finna slide over to That Surprise Witness, BJ Investigates. She's talking about Diddy putting in a new appeal. Let's get into this Contiano. Let's get into it. Let's go.
For Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy comes, it seems like, he might be grateful. It seems like he might be thankful, grateful, and appreciative that what was, looking like it might have been a life sentence, his whole rest of his entire miserable life was going to be spent in prison. But instead of that, he, in my opinion, really got off pretty easily compared to what he was facing. Okay, he did end up getting sentenced for his crimes that he was convicted guilty of, which wasn't all of them that he was charged with. But for the crimes, the federal crimes that he was convicted guilty of, he did end up getting sentenced to about 4 or 5 years in prison. And that time is going to run out by the time he's done appealing, I think. That's my opinion. But just yesterday, on Friday, March 13th, 2026, he did submit an appeal filing in the appeals court. So let's just pull up an article about it. I am also going to pull up the actual filing. This one's from TMZ. This one's apparently, allegedly, supposedly an exclusive. Now, why would TMZ be getting an exclusive? In addition to the, usual reasons, because, sometimes it's been reported they pay for tips, they pay for leads, but also Mark Geragos is affiliated, we'll say, with TMZ and Harvey Levin because he's on that podcast with Harvey Levin. Mark Geragos is the father of one of Diddy's lawyers, Teeny Geragos. Teeny Geragos works at Mark Agnifalo's law firm, but her daddy is Mark Geragos. Mark Geragos probably is the one that gave them these tips, if I had to guess. Now, when I did go to court for the Diddy trial, I was there for 2 days. I was in the courtroom when the jury declared Diddy was not guilty on ST charges, but then he was guilty on and not guilty on RICO, but he was found to be guilty on the Mann Act, and this is the willful voluntary traveling for the purposes or causing someone else to travel for the purposes of prostitution, etc.
And it's crazy how that's, a crime, because so many times dudes are flowing out these girls. You want to hang out, you want to have a good time, you dating this girl, she live here, you live there, you fly her out for... Now look at you, a part of the Mann Act.
So TMZ is claiming that they have an exclusive of some sort. The title is Judge Gave Me Way Too Harsh a Sentence. Exclusive. Lawyers for Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs are arguing his sentence is far too harsh, accusing the judge in new legal filings of punishing him for crimes for which he was actually acquitted. The rapper's legal team filed an appeal Friday in which they point out a jury found Diddy not guilty of ST and RICO. But Diddy received a sentence his lawyers say is roughly 4 times higher than the normal sentence for these prostitution-related Mann Act convictions. Now, listen, the judge obviously isn't going to give TMZ a soundbite here. Not going to give TMZ a quote for their article here, and I doubt they even reached out to him. But if I had to guess, the judge is going to say Diddy did a whole lot more over the course of the 10 to 13, however long it was, however many years, however many years it was. Diddy did a whole lot more than the average person that travels for the purposes of prostitution. Okay. There was evidence of violence. They even agreed. Diddy's lawyer in the opening and closing statements, both of the lawyers that did the opening and the lawyer that did the closing said Diddy is a menace. I mean, don't quote me, but it was something like, if we were here for domestic violence charges, Diddy would plead guilty. Okay, so admitting, his lawyers are admitting that he did.
But he's like, but we ain't here for that. If we was here for that, Diddy would plead guilty, but we ain't here for that. We ain't here for the Diddy domestic
violence. Okay, that's interesting. That's not the charge that he was charged with. Of course it was not. But when the judge sentenced Diddy, he did take into consideration Diddy's propensity for violence, his lack of really being sorry, his seeming lack or failure to take accountability and responsibility for the things that he actually did do and he actually was found guilty of. Diddy would waffle back and forth. Like sometimes he would say, I was a bad person, I needed to go to rehab. And then sometimes he'd say, I didn't do anything wrong, it was all consensual. But the judge did sentence him to 50 months. And he was in prison or in jail and holding for like over a year. Like I think it was about 13 months when he was sentenced. So all that time that he already spent in jail is going to count and does count toward his time served. It's going to be taken off of the total amount that he has to serve after the sentencing. The judge, according to Diddy's lawyers, they say that 50-month sentence, that prison sentence, has been a perversion of justice. That is so rich. That is so rich in so many ways that they want to use the word perversion. But anyway, I'm still trying to force my brain to scrub itself of the knowledge that Diddy likes to have other men's licked off his I don't know if that's true or not, girl, and I hope I never find out if it's true or not. I do not wish to be there, okay? I do not and did not and I have never wished to be in the room when Diddy was getting his licked. Okay, no, thank you. But anyway, they're the ones, of course.
And just so you guys know, she's saying nipple. Just so you guys know, she's saying nipple. Diddy likes to have men's baby gravy licked off of his nipple. So that's that.
Starbo, they're the ones talking about perversions of justice. Diddy's lawyers say that the judge engaged in considering acquitted conduct at sentencing, or he did acquitted conduct sentencing. This would be the practice of increasing punishment based on rejected allegations. They insist this has been criticized across the legal landscape. So what Diddy's lawyers are saying is Diddy wasn't convicted for violence. He wasn't convicted for force, fraud, coercion related crimes. So that necessarily means the jury did not find that Diddy did any of that. Well, that's not true. The jury could have found that he did violence and not found him guilty of RICO, which they did not find him guilty of RICO. But that doesn't mean that every single thing that was brought up was completely rejected by the jury. And this has been argued about in court. Diddy's team wants the appeals court to order Diddy to be immediately released and granted a judgment of acquittal, or at least vacate and remand the sentencing to have him re-sentenced. As you know, Diddy was acquitted on the major federal charges. The major federal charges, that would be the RICO and the ST by force, fraud, coercion. He did just get found guilty on 2 counts of the prostitution charge. The major federal charges he faced last year following a 2-month-long trial, he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation for the purpose of prostitution. This happened in July of 2025, and it's already March.
So basically, Diddy is saying, like, man, look, y'all was putting all them charges on me that didn't stick, and now that they didn't stick, nigga, y'all was looking at me funny. Go ahead and take some of that extra off of it. All right, Diddy.
2026. Okay, so like I said, I mean, by the time this all makes it through the courts, he's probably going to be already served all his puny little time. Months later, the judge then sentenced Diddy to 50 months in prison, for which Diddy's lawyers claim the judge was acting as a 13th juror. So here is the the docket for the case, the appeals case. It started in February, that's last month. Motion to file an oversized brief. The order was granted, or the motion was granted with this order. Excuse me, Lord. Poof, it's my third video today. I'm running out of steam here. Notice of hearing, brief on behalf of the United States. They filed their brief in February. Supplemental appendix, notice of hearing. Okay. And then this was filed yesterday at 7 o'clock at night. Okay, so we really did just receive this. We just got it. And here it is here. It is about 40 or exactly 40 pages long. And here's the table of contents. I'm not going to read the full document here, although, I mean, look, all the pages are just beginner fluff here. It doesn't really start until page, 8 of 40. But here is the table of contents and the table of authorities. And I want, here's the table of contents. And I want to go over what their arguments are, at least laid out in this outline. They say the judge, oh, that's pretty cool. If you click on this, it'll bring you to that spot in the brief, or in the, whatever this is, brief. Using acquitted conduct to increase Diddy's sentence was unlawful and unjust. The statute cannot be applied to voyeurism. Remember, they were saying Diddy was just, if anything, he was a voyeur. He wasn't actually engaging in the acts. He was sitting there in the room with the people. Now, this was contested at trial. There were people that were in there that said Diddy would come and get involved. He would lean over them. He would direct the scene. He would tell them what to do. He would tell them what not to do. He would make it known what he was.
Nigga Diddy's out here like fucking what's the name I'm looking for? Dick Jurassic Park. We're gonna just say Quentin Tarantino, but that ain't the name I'm looking for. Steven Spielberg.
Pleased with what he was not pleased with during these freak offs. So the testimony at trial would contradict this statement. Okay, the statute can't be applied to voyeurism. Well, he wasn't just voyeuring, but that's what they're trying to argue. So, I mean, maybe, girl, maybe that's true. We'll see what the appeals court decides. Diddy's conviction violated the First Amendment, they say. The government doesn't dispute that the SUL performances during freak-offs were First Amendment protected activity, or at least consensual acts do warrant the protection of the First Amendment. The government argues that it was actually Diddy's conduct of transporting others for these nights that was not protected by the First Amendment. So, like, being engaged in the act, whether it be as a voyeur or whether it be as a participant physically, directly, the behavior of the freak-offs is not what the government is really that hung up with at this point. What the prosecutors are actually more hung up with at this point is whether or not the transportation of someone for the purpose of an S act. Okay, so there's the act itself, but then there's the transportation. Remember, the statute says transportation in it. Diddy's lawyers in this brief go on to say the First Amendment does not just protect speech, like words coming out of your mouth. It also protects activities that are necessary for producing and disseminating speech. Leading decisions have thus squarely rejected arguments that the production of...
All right, man, so we finna get up out here to the next one, man. Y'all know the deal is red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. We up out here to the next one.
Yeah, protest the air, Smith. We on the air, protest the air at our best. You know that, man. Off the air. You know what I'm saying? We out here, ground zero for the neighborhood hero. We got all four corners. TMC, the marathon definitely continue. Mr. Burger right here, live in the flesh. We out here, man. Trap news. You know that, nigga.
Apollo Texas. Dangerous. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboard. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. That nigga ball like game 6. That nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bush and you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let him hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall. 81 points strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell it.
gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's outside, nigga.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboards. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Friends is hella fake, I know what enemies' intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.